Don't worry, be happy. How are you doing, guys? Well, welcome to vlog number 3. It's 10 past 11 in the morning, and this vlog will go out tonight, guys. As you see, I set my reminders. I've been talking about authority and the way I was as a young lad and growing up. I want to let you on this vlog, on vlog number 3, let you into the real Decca. I just want people to know on these vlogs, and I want people to get to know me on a personal level, and that is why I've started my new perk for people to meet up with me, get signed merchandise, go for dinner, spend the day with me, because I want people to know the real me. And do you know what? If you actually got to know me and spend time in my company, you would see I'm a very soft-hearted man. Very soft-hearted. I'm against violence to women and children. I'm against violence to animals. I'm a big animal lover. Like, I love my dogs, as you've seen on a lot of my videos, guys. I'm really love my dogs. I like all animals. I don't like cruelty. I'm a big softie when it comes to animals and to women, to be honest with you, because I don't really speak about my personal life much in relationships and stuff. To be honest with you, I spent a lot of my time as a very paranoid, insecure guy, and I think I would say I probably failed in a lot of relationships because of that reason. I didn't love myself. I was very self-conscious about my body and the way I was and what it was. I think I tried to live up to other people's expectations of me. People put me on a pedestal, and when you get this reputation of being a tough guy, and when you succeed in life and you become a bare knuckle fighter and stuff, and it's your public that puts you on this pedestal. And in my head, I was always bothered about what other people thought of me. So what I would do, guys, is I would try and live up to other people's expectations. And I know it sounds crazy, but that's the way I was. So I was always trying to look a certain way. I was always in competition with other people to get in shape. I'd go in the gym. I'd be very insecure. I'd see guys that were really in good shape, and I'd just feel like, wow, I'm never going to look like that, you know what I mean? And that was a massive problem throughout my life. And in relationships, it was a big problem, because I always used to accuse my partners of cheating or fancying other people. And I would say that's a common thing in life, but people don't talk about it. Well, I'm speaking about it because it was a really big problem for me. And I probably ruined a lot of relationships because of my insecurities and paranoia. And it isn't good, because I was kind of controlling in the fact that I was always trying to control my partner's emotions and feelings, in the fact that, and it's not nice. It was a really bad thing to do, because when I look back now, I'm so confident and comfortable in my own skin and who I am. I don't look at guys anymore and compete with them. I actually look at them and admire them. And it pushes me on to better myself. So instead of competing with them, I'm trying to become the best version of me. And this is a thing that I missed throughout my life. And it interfered in my relationships, because this is probably why I've not got kids, and I've never had long relationships. Probably the worst, probably the most, for about a year. But it was a huge problem to me, because I was always paranoid of other men, and that was a massive problem to me. And I'm comfortable speaking about it, because I think a lot more men should speak about it and not be self-conscious of your insecurities. And I think being a little bit vulnerable and opening up and admitting your faults and admitting your mistakes, it actually allows you to move forward in life and try to become a better you. We're never going to change the past. That's a given. That's a fact. You know what I mean? We're never going to change it. What we can do is mould our future by behaving a different way, trying to better ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, and career-wise. And I think when you take responsibility for who you are and your actions, it allows you and gives you space and in your mind, and it gives you time to reflect and become a better you. See, I don't spend too much time looking back, because it's the past, and to be honest with you, if I had to look back in the past, I wouldn't be happy in myself. I wasn't really, when it came to relationships, I wouldn't say I was the best boyfriend, you know what I mean? I was a very insecure, very paranoid, and it was a big fault of mine. And that was one thing I had to change in my life, especially going to films and getting more into the public domain. I had to change my ways, because if I didn't, it'd have come back to bite me in the bum. And it probably has sometimes, but I just wasn't really a nice guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just wasn't, like, I wasn't a bully, or I didn't want to hurt, I didn't harm anybody or hurt anybody, but words can hurt people. You know what I mean? Like, your words and actions can hurt other people, and that's the point I'm trying to get across, that if you don't take responsibility for it, you're always going to be that way. And that's the way I was right throughout my life. And I am deep down a really soft person, and people probably haven't seen that side of me, because I suffered a lot of trauma when I was a young lad, and that trauma has affected my whole life. It's affected the way I behave, it's affected my relationships, it's affected me loving people, it's affected my self-worth issues, it's affected my mental health, giving me anxiety and panic attacks, and bad memories, bad sleep patterns, nightmares, night terrors. But I don't want to sit and dwell on that. I don't want to sit here and keep talking about old ground, you know what I mean? For me, speak about it, move on. But speak about it so you're helping other people to speak about it, because, like I said, I was a really soft man. I've always been soft, always. And you know what? I can't honestly say I've ever started a fight in my entire life. Never, ever. But I finish them. I don't even like fighting, man. Like, honestly, I do not like fighting at all. Like, I don't. I hate it. And I've always got scared. And this is what people don't understand about me. They think I'm this big hard man, but I'm not. When you get deep inside of me, into my heart and my personality, and speak to me in private, I don't even really speak about fighting. Never. Speak about dogs, movies, documentaries, everyday things. Gym, training, love my training. And like I say, my insecurities are really bad. Self-worth issues, bad relationships, down on my side, not their side. And the thing is, a lot of men will blame partners for their insecurities. Oh, it was my ex-girlfriend, she cheated on me, that's why I'm paranoid. Yeah, I was paranoid because I was insecure, and I felt it hard to love people. So when you find it hard to love someone, you probably are going to be insecure, because you're not giving your heart and soul to that person. And that was on my side, you know what I mean? That's something I take responsibility for. And I would say over this last 2 years, I've started to rediscover myself. And when you get into my mindset, you will see that I am not a hard man at all. Never. A lot of more harder men than me. I had to do something of authority and to get a name and a reputation to hide my insecurities. I always had anxiety, depression. I felt worthless. I didn't feel like I was anybody. I felt like a bright bum. Like a right bum. Bare knuckle fighting, I can honestly say, with the good and the bad, gave me a new lease of life, because it helped me get off the substances, the drugs, gave me a focus, gave me a purpose in life, gave me a reason to want to get up and do something. But when I went into bare knuckle fighting, the punches and getting the punishment was actually my self-harming mechanism from my trauma. You know, sometimes you feel like you deserve to be punched, you deserve to be hit. Some people think they deserve to be cut, so they turn to cutting the skin. But I wasn't. I was getting punched in the face, but I actually enjoyed it, because I felt I deserved it in a way. It's very hard to explain until you know yourself what I'm talking about. It'd be very hard to connect with that, with self-harming mechanisms and getting beat up and enjoying it. I lived a whole facade on most of my life. I lived to other people's expectations. I was trying to be what everyone expected me to be. Decca Heggie, big hard man, or because people think I'm a big hard man, now I need to get really big, I need to go in the gym and get massive and be intimidating and be evil and be hard. And that was just all show. That was just a facade. When people mention me in the same breath, when they all mention about Lenny McLean, and I actually cringe at that because I am not in these people's leagues, or I'm not. That isn't me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not. I don't want to be a hard man. I don't want to be mentioned. I don't people when I pass away. I don't want people to remember me as a tough guy. I want people to remember me as a good man, good actor. I don't want to be known as a fighter because it's bare knuckle fighting was never professional boxing. You know what I mean? It was underground when I done it, and yeah, it's gave me opportunities. You know, it's made me do better in life. It's got me. It was actually the bare knuckle fighting that got me into acting. So I've got to thank bare knuckle fighting for that because it's put me on a new path. But I always say, if you fall asleep in the past, okay, you're going to wake up miserable. So just remember that if you ever fall asleep in the past, you're going to wake up miserable. You have to embrace, cherish, remember, move forward, be happy. You'll never ever, and I could keep looking back, but I'm going to be miserable because there's not many things in my past that I am proud of. There's not many things that I enjoyed. I lived with trauma all my life, and I only recently started speaking about it when I spoke to Dad at Christmas, Dad and G, and it's something in time I'll speak about when I get to speak on stage and talk to kids or schools or colleges, or get on stage in front of, like, do black tie dinners or just talking in general. But there's a side to me that people don't realise or know, and that's a side that I'm ready to come out soon. You know what I mean? Like, I've always kind of waited till I get a bit of a profile first to actually talk about things that I've never spoken, because I want to kind of reach out to thousands of people, and I want people to connect that just because you're a bare knuckle fighter and you're labelled a tough guy, it doesn't mean you can be, doesn't mean you can't be vulnerable. You know what I mean? You can be vulnerable. It's healthy to be vulnerable, but a lot of tough men, or with reputations, don't want to show that side because it's weak, and I get it. But if you're in my company and you're a hard man and you don't want to be vulnerable, that's your choice. But I know when you're putting on the facade, you know what I mean? I know, like, a lot of tough men are actually good family men, people that you don't even hear about. Or the gentlemen, really nice men. Like, they'll just speak to you. Sometimes you wouldn't even think they would harm them because they're that nice. But it's okay to show your soft side, and people need to understand that. Some people only show the soft side in private, but that's their choice. But, you know, but for me, I like showing my vulnerability in public because, and sometimes people take the mick out of that. Sometimes people will take advantage of that and see it as a weakness, but that's their mistake. But you get more respect for showing your true colours and being a soft man and soft-hearted and kind and generous and good-natured, instead of just putting this facade of a hard man and walking around with a chip on your shoulder. But that chip, you know, is it really a chip? You know, a lot of tough guys, when you expect someone to be tough, they act tough because they think they've got to be like that. And you don't. Just be you. Be you. And I'm actually enjoying now this other side of me where I'm actually being able to be myself. And that's what these vlogs are about, guys. Are actually letting you into my mind and my personal life, and the fact that I'm not what people think. I'm not a hard man. Like, honestly, I am not a tough man. People need to get that out your head. Like, Decca Heggie is no tough man. Decca Heggie is a normal man, right, that's had it tough in life and got through it and came out the other side, and now hoping to inspire people to better themselves and move on and leave the past behind, because that's what it's about, man. Like I say, if you fall asleep in the past, you're going to wake up miserable. Got to be positive and keep moving forward in the best way possible, because we only live one life, man. And I didn't want to spend my whole life living this persona and this facade of this when I was younger, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed walking in a nightclub and people looking up to me and people coming up shaking my hand and buying me drinks. I liked it, but that was ego. That was a facade. That wasn't the real Decca. That was me acting the way people expect me to be. And you can't do that all your life because you're going to be miserable. You've got to be the real you. You know what I mean? I keep telling myself lately I'm going to become a great actor. And I firmly believe that. If you're brave enough to say the things that you want in public and to people on YouTube or social media, and spread the gratitude and love and be appreciative of what you got in your life, you're going to get it back in abundance. If I say and I believe I'm going to become a great actor, it's going to happen because I'm putting them positive vibes into the universe. I'm telling you all that it's going to happen. It'll happen because I firmly believe it. I really do believe it. I honestly believe a lot of people haven't seen my hidden talent that I've got, and I can act. And you'll see that this year. And I'll always be humble. I'll always be down to earth. I'm never going to think I'm better than anybody. Or I just like being the real me now. Like, I'm not having to be this tough man. You know what I mean? I don't. And I think I would say stepping away from bare knuckle fighting, that's actually give me a better opportunity to be me. Because I think when I was bare knuckle fighting, I was actually still living to this facade of this tough man. And you have to sometimes because, like I said, some people take advantage and they can. So you've got to put your foot down and authority down that people can't take the mick out of you. But I don't enjoy that. I enjoy just being me, living comfortable, just chilling out, relaxing and just being me and being around my family, my dogs, my nieces and nephews. I love that. That is exactly what I love. And I'm enjoying it. And I just feel there's a massive weight off my shoulder now in the personal life, in the public life. I just feel that I'm not carrying a weight on my shoulder of the world and the problems and traumas. I feel more open. I feel more free. I feel free. Listen, everyone gets bad days, man. But I actually handle them bad days better now by, if I'm a little bit down, I'll put something funny on, I'll put a comedy on, I'll read Laws of Attraction, and straight away your head just goes into the zone and you're back feeling positive again. You know, I've come off all my medication. I take ashwagandha. It's a capsule, like a herbal plant, natural herbal plant. I think that's starting to work now because I'm feeling good. And I wanted, when I was at Christmas, I wanted 2023 to be the year of me, where I start becoming the real me. And I feel I'm on that journey. I really feel that I am being me, and I'm not living up to a facade. I'm not trying to be what I'm not, because this is who I am. This is the real Decca, the soft, gentle, soft-natured, no bravado, just me. And this is the thing. If you meet me in person, we'll go for lunch. We're sitting down together. You'll see that this is me. This is the real me now. Chilled out, not angry, just relaxed and absolutely enjoying life in the fact that I can just be myself. And that's the best part about it, guys. So like I said, I hope you're enjoying the vlogs. I enjoy doing them. I'm enjoying actually speaking, being me, do you know what I mean? Being the real Decca Heggie. But like I say, guys, just be positive. And if I was ever going to give advice to anybody, just be yourself. You know what I mean? Just be you. And I think you'll be a lot happier in life. I think sometimes our troubles and stresses, stresses come from the mortgages and the bills, but a lot of stresses as well come from not being the real you and living up to a facade. And you've got your mates and you've got to impress your mates, and you don't want to tell them you don't want to go out because they'll think just be you. Any decision that you make it for your best interest. Okay? Yes, be there for other people, be loyal, be genuine, and always have your pals' backs, but always look after number one and always be faithful to your women. Because the thing is, guys, when you're unfaithful, when you're not a nice person, bad karma comes to get you, and it works in wonderful ways because it gets you twice as bad. If you treat people the way you want to be treated, you're going to get it back good. And I'm talking from experience, man. I am, and I've lived a very, 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 let's just say, interesting life, but not the best of life in the fact that I was a proper decent fella, because I was a bit of a ladies' man and a cheat, and I think karma came back twice as bad for me, and I've been through it all, and I just think it's karma. But I think now I'm being treated better by karma because I'm being a lot better. I'm being myself, and that is what I enjoy about being just me. And like I say, guys, my advice is just be yourself, be happy, treat everyone with respect, treat everyone like you want to be treated, but most of all, look after you. Okay? Like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Click on vlog 1, vlog 2, as you'll see coming up on the screen now. God bless. Love you all. Respect.